Welcome back, guys. Let's crack on with that bulkhead. Okay, so my original idea was describing a bulkhead. I don't like the standard Z cars when it goes up and over the top because it hides all the engine. So I thought, well, I can try and get one that sort of fits in neatly, make it out of wood to start with, then transfers it onto metal and get it so it's nice and flush fitting with the outside edge of the shell to create a complete seal. I'm now going away from that idea now. Basically what I'm going to do is similar to it, so actually run a line off of the bulkhead, off of the frame itself, flat all the way down the inside of the shell, and then actually cut the whole back half of the shell off. The shell isn't here for anything structural at all, it's purely just to stop you from getting wet and dirty. All the strength is actually in the cage itself, so by cutting this all off here, I can get the whole back half of the shell removable. And then with it being removable, I can easily get to the engine for sort of working on it in the future. So a bit like a flip front, but we a flip back as well. So that's the plan. So let's just try and work out a way of how to do it. Okay, so here is the tool for making a bulkhead. Really high-tech piece of equipment. Basically, Sharpie marker pen, drill through the end of a block of wood, so as when it lays flat on the surface, like that, it can mark out the line. So for the wobbly camera skills. And then when you actually rest the block of wood on the cage there, on the cage there, you can go along and it marks up the line. So now I've got this side over here to do. So again, resting it over there, put it onto there, then rub down. I'll do it one-handed at the moment, but you get the idea of it. And then when you line up there, this actual pole here, as you can see, is a lot thinner than this one. When you line it actually up with the two supports, the black line lines up with it, which is quite useful really. So that is going to be, as you can see on the ceiling line there, got a black line going along there. Let me just spin it around this way and then that way you can see with the flash on. There's the black line just there. And it all lines up lovely with the bulkhead all the way along. And down this side here. Again, get in line with it there. Coming down, and there's the line there, you can just see it when you line up. That all lines up nicely. So what I've got to do is just finish doing the rest of the line down there. Also I've got the main points, which is obviously up here. This I cut through earlier, which isn't going to be any issue really. I can weld up that. Then obviously there's a few bits I can't actually join up, so between obviously here and here, but obviously if I notch out the top bit, cut up to here, then obviously just join the two lines together, it's going to be a straight bulkhead. Likewise down here, I'll only get to there because this stops me from getting any further, but I will basically be joining it into this cut out here. So I do is mark across there with that square, across to there, and then straight up. So we've got this side here quickly to finish off, and then we're done. Okay, so I've finished marking it all up now for all the spots that I can get to. Obviously got reference lines just down there as well, which you can just see where I've just managed to touch it onto. So as you can see, it's all got to line up quite nicely along there. Marked out all along the ceiling. Well, I've got a little reference line further on down there as well. You can't quite see that actually in the gutter. And the same on this side here, where I can draw that too. I've also marked up, come out of it, on the outside here, line again. All I did for that was just, again, rust it up against the top of the frame, the outside edge of the frame there. Then marked up that line there, so that shows me where that is. Done the same for the other side. I'm just going to do the same now for the top rail here on the outside. Right, so I've just welded in this X across the shell to the roof and across down to the floor. So when I take out the bulkhead, now it's going to stop any sort of side flexing in the shell. That way then I can cut the back half of the car off, and it should keep its shape nicely then. It's a lot stiffer than what it was obviously without that in. So now get the frame out the back, cut the back half off, and then I can start to sort of, you know, scribe out all of the rest of the rear bulkhead. So that's the next step. So that's the rear frame out. Comes out a lot easier than it goes in, I'm going to show you. As I said, got that X brace in there, and as you can see, it's really strengthened up the shell. Obviously it's nothing structural in that respect, but at least now it's not actually flexing. Even though I'm pushing it here sideways, there's barely any flexing at all. So it's really, before when I used to pull that, it used to flex like anything. But that's at least gonna hold its shape now. So as you guys can hopefully see in there, the black line going up along there and onto the roof, that is now going to be dot to dot, join that all together and then start cutting out. So let's get going on that then. Okay, so that is the back half of the car off. So the idea is I'm going to obviously brace all this now and get that all strengthened up and try and turn that into a flip back. So if ever I need to work on the engine, I can then get to all of it. Obviously now as well I can just get a nice sheet of steel, put it straight onto the back here, weld it on. So obviously this has got its shape, that's absolutely solid for its shape with the brace bars across there. So weld that together, that gives it that shape there. You can use that as a template to mirror for the gusset. Goes all the way around the edge of here and all the way down here, the exact same shape, which will then give it a sort of exact replica to this side, so both sides can go together. And obviously I can keep offering it up against each other to make sure it's all spaced off correctly. That will strengthen that, and I'll just then put a couple of bars around just to strengthen it, probably around there. Obviously it's got this seam which I left on there intentionally. I don't normally remove it, but I left all this on there just to give it a bit of strength. But by adding that sort of collar in effect all the way around here, a mating surface to go onto the other side, that should stiffen up all of this. Like I said, with the frame on, I'm going to look at trying to get some sort of brace bar that I can put across there as well. So yeah, so I'll call that a night for now. Obviously making progress now, which is great. So get all this sorted out, try and get this bulkhead finished off, then get the frame back on. Then once that frame is back on, I can then obviously get the engine in and then start sorting out all the auxiliary parts to try and squeeze and shoehorn into this section down here. So thanks for tuning in again, guys. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and obviously follow me K20 Charged Mini on Instagram and on Facebook, obviously if you want to be kept up to date with the build. So cheers guys, catch you later. Cheers.